don't age, like Halle Berry or, Angelina Jolie. I'm like, how do you just get tighter, ladies? What's going on? Do you have a crank in the back of your face? I actually saw Halle Berry today. That's why she's on point, and I wouldn't have my picture taken at one of those fancy photo booth things and I was like, I couldn't see what was happening. All I could see were people over here, and there were literally 30 people had their phones out taking pictures while there's a photographer taking pictures of somebody on the other side of this wall. I'm like, what is the deal with it? Oh, hey, there's my brother. Hey, Ryan. So only your brother can sit there and upstage your panel. That's nice. Are you gonna have your own panel over there? He's taking questions from the balcony, like Juliet. Oh, get out of here! Get out of here, Poopy. I'm just kidding. If you have a question for him, you can actually ask him. I'll have him come on over. Ryan, you're gonna have to Price is Right it down the stairs here if somebody has a question for you. Okay? Take your. We're gonna do Q&A. I'm gonna stop talking in a minute. Let me just finish my Halle Berry story. She was wearing a pantsuit, and I'm normally like, oh girl, don't wear a pantsuit. They sort of ride up in the back, and they're sort of 70s, like, ooh. She looked so pretty. She's like flawless. It's like somebody has a key light, like just right there. Ooh. Some kind of pancake filter. No, she was just lovely. Anyway, so then I'm like, next, Felicia, come over. I'm like, I'm gonna stand where Halle Berry was and take a picture. I'm a troll. She did this pose where she was just kind of like against the wall like this, and I tried to do the same pose, and he was like, no, don't do that. He really honestly was like, just come away from the wall. So that did not work. Anyway, there's a baby. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to point you out. That's really awkward now for me, not for you. We're gonna take some questions. Who has the microphone? Claudia has the microphone, and Steve has the microphone. So if you have a question, just raise your hand, and one of them, we already have one here, we have one over here, and I'll take as many questions as we can fill in the next 45 minutes or something. I don't know. Good. Hi.
So you've had a lot of different roles that you've been in over the last several years. You've been an actress, you've been done writing, producing, now an author. What are the things about those different roles that you've loved the most, and what are the ones that have felt most like work to you?
That's a really good question. Yes, I have a lot of hats. I'm like the man with 1,000 hats from Curious George, or is that the yellow hat? It's the yellow hat. I'm full of it. I do wear a lot of hats, and I don't think I could not wear a lot of hats because I get very bored easily. So I love acting on set, on something like Supernatural or something. There was a fan meetup last night that I could not make, and please, my apologies, because here's the story, and then we'll actually get to your question. I had been working since 7:30 a.m. I get up and do, no one does this, it's me. I'm like, come on, curling iron, burn. Okay, let's cover that up. And I was so tired at 8, I was like, I have to eat something, because I've been eating, peanut butter granola bars, and that's going to stop me up so I don't poop for days. So I had a side salad, and then I felt confident. I was like, let me get a side of mashed potatoes. And they brought me this huge thing of just mashed potatoes for dinner. And I started eating. I was happy. Anyway, it did not go well for me halfway through the mashed potatoes, because then you get that texture thing. You're like, what's in my mouth? It's paste. And then it had a lot of butter, and then I just almost threw up, and I went to bed, and I watched Tiny House Hunters. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen this stupid show, it's a show where people shop for tiny houses. Okay, if you want to be a doll, that's fine. But they shop for houses that are between 100 square feet and 400 square feet, okay? Yeah. But here's the irritating part. They're always like, oh, it's a little tight. What show are you on? Oh, every room. Well, this bathroom's a little tight. Can I fit a bathtub in here? I don't know. It's not going to hold my king-size mattress. Get out of here! I was sitting there just screaming at the television, get off the show. Get off the tiny house show if you're going to complain about your king-size mattress and the wall space. Oh, I need more wall space. You're in a tiny house. They're going to have tiny walls. Everything is tight here. Anyway, you had a question. So I started out, and I do have a book coming out. It's called You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost. Oh, thank you. I spent all last year writing it. I really took it seriously because I love memoir books. I actually do. I love Tina Fey's Bossy Pants. Everything. Amy Poehler's new book. Mindy Kaling. It's down the line. John Cleese. So I really wanted to write a book, based on the things that I've done in my life, going from weird homeschool kid to, stadium. I don't mean to drop that, but there's a stadium behind me. Thank you, legendary. But a lot of the ups and downs in my life, and each chapter kind of just chronicles different parts of my life, from actor, violinist, homeschool kid, to actor and writer, producer, business owner. And it's like, once I kind of backed up after a while. It's like, girl, you just do whatever, don't you? Like, I just jump in not knowing what is going to happen into opportunities because I'm kind of, I guess, a thrill seeker, or I like to innovate, and that's really kind of the thread of anything I do. I like to innovate, and make the audience happy. So all the different things I do, there have been great ones, like acting is amazing, but then when it started getting frustrating, that's when I didn't enjoy it because I felt like people were trying to stereotype me as different from who I am, or impose their idea of me on me, and I felt like I was betraying who I was. And it wasn't until I got back to like, okay, you're weird, just embrace those weirdnesses, embrace your weird, really, was when I found my path. And that's kind of, the thread of my life. So I guess I could say that, acting had its ups and downs. Producing has its ups and downs as far as like, we have $100 and we're trying to make a video and someone broke their leg. This is a horrible travesty. Or I have a business. There's paperwork. A lot of the things in starting a business were very frustrating and hard for me, and I didn't have the skill set to really excel at them. And they were all based on me just wanting to create. But with creating comes a lot of overhead and a lot of other things that may probably make some of you start sleeping. But the thing is that I learned through going through all those steps of not knowing and learning is that I'm a better person for all the failures that I had versus all the successes. So the things that I tried, and I accepted the fact that maybe I wasn't as great as I thought I was going to be, or I failed, but then I did it better the next time. That's where I improved as a person versus like, I'm a grade A student, like all the time, I'm perfect. Look at me, Miss Perfect, So anyway, that's, I guess, the thread of advice that I would say. If you have a desire to do something, whether it's professional or just a hobby, just go ahead and jump in and try it. And that's the best way to know if you'll like something or you'll succeed at it, and you'll learn from succeeding or failing. So, at this rate, I'll answer 3 questions. Those tiny houses, it's tight. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So I have a question. I'm a professional miniature painter, and What? I'm a professional miniature painter.
That's amazing. Oh my God. How do you make, what? Wait, how does that work?
Very carefully and precisely. Yes.
You cannot be drunk on the job, huh?
No. We can't even have half a bottle of beer. No.
Okay. You're amazing. Where do you find you?
Well, I'm gonna stand in line for your signing. So.
Oh, no. But where can somebody hire you to paint? Like, do people call you and like, I need a small version of myself?
I mostly do professional work.
Wow.
Miniature mistress. So,
okay.
I did all the Arcadia Quest miniatures. Have you seen those? I did all of those. I painted those. So. You're
amazing. Your eyesight is like precious. Do you insure your eyeballs?
No, not yet. Should I?
Okay, you had a question.
Okay, so I want to know if you have any good advice for professional girls in the industry.
Professional, just people?
Yeah, well,
ladies?
Well, for ladies, just what? Oh, well, gaming industry. So just any advice?
Any advice?
Yeah.
Just general.
Just good advice for girls that want to do this.
Oh, okay. To do geeky things?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good question. I get a lot of questions like that. I am very excited to see in the 8 years that I've been at Comic-Con an increase in the number of women and girls in geekdom and the openness and awesome community that has sort of embraced changes in what people think of as a geek. I think it's really great. I think sometimes people might encounter resistance to change, and that can be hard to encounter sometimes. And I would just say that if you look around you, there are amazing people to connect with who will embrace, the things that you are enthusiastic about. And if someone is suppressing your joy in any way, in any part of your life, that's a person you don't really need. There's a difference between criticism, which you can take and improve on, and then there's and then gatekeepers, or people who are judging you and trying to make you measure yourself by their standards. So I think that especially geek culture is about sharing joy and embracing who you are. And like I said, in my book, that it really is the path of success and meaning is looking at the bumps on you. Like if you were a stack of mashed potatoes, right? And everyone's like, be smooth, get rid of those ridges. That's how potatoes should be. But actually, it's more interesting to be, this is a horrible analogy, just be a bumpy sack of potatoes. Like, be the bumpiest mashed potatoes that you can. Embrace your bumps. Yeah! I nailed it. Thank you. Nailed it, right? Get it on a t-shirt, whatever that was. Next question. Oh, Steve over here.
Hey, Felicia.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi, Felicia. How are you?
Jeff Carlisle, amazing artist, Star Wars comics. Obviously, he did amazing guild art early on.
Thank you, sweetie. My question for you is, you've been coming here since what, 2008?
2007 I actually came down, yeah.
But I mean, you've been coming out here for a while, and that's the early days of the guild. What are the things that you miss about the early days, and what are the things you absolutely do not miss about the early days?
Really good question. Anybody who's been here, are there any Guild of Extras here? Anybody who was an extra on the guild? Oh, we got a couple people. Woo! Thank you guys. Amazing to have a journey with you for so many years. The guild, as you know, and you can read in my book. You can read it in my book, or you can hear it here. It started in my garage. And I came down here and I handed out bookmarks to people on the sidewalk to try to get them to watch my web show. And most of them went on the trash. If you watch season 5 of The Guild, there's a thing where Blaze is handing out his headshot and everybody's just throwing them away. That was inspired by my first days in the Guild, where you're trying to get people to like what you're doing and you believe in it so much. And, it's just everyone's not going to love what you do. And that was an amazing experience in the journey from, the sidewalk to now. The things I loved about the guild and the community were that it started very small, and Kim, Evie, and I did pretty much everything ourselves. We didn't have help, and we were able to manage everything, just us. I wrote everything, I started everything, I did a lot of the PR, Kim managed all the logistics, and it was hard, but it was all consuming, and it was one thing, and that's all we did. And the great thing about those times were that I was a perfectionist, and I was able to focus on one thing, as well as know all of our fans we just grew fan by fan. So I would know so many people by name, and I would be able to spend time with every single person. And I think, the journey is that I can't know everybody by name anymore, even though our Twitch channel is getting there. We had if you guys are part of our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/geekandsundry, we have a great community there where, 6 days a week we stream, and I know a lot of those people in that chat, and that feels like going back to those days of knowing everybody and having them connect with each other. The things I don't miss at all are being burned out. There was a time, I think it was 2009, where we had a booth with my friend Jamie Chambers, and we had our own IKEA shelving that we brought in to sell t-shirts ourselves. And it was preview night on Wednesday, and we had an hour to put these IKEA shelves together, and I was sobbing. I'm like, I don't know how to put this together, it's backwards. And we did everything ourselves. We carted it from our car, and they wouldn't let us drop off because we didn't have to have money for the loading dock. So we'd be like, drive up, and I'd be like, go, go, go. And I'd like, you know, yank the shelves out of the car, trying to drag them myself through the front door. So the great thing is that, you know, over the years, we've had a lot more help, obviously, if you look around here. But that community spirit is the thing that I try, no matter how big we get, I'm always trying to retain that kernel. And there was a time where it went up and down, but right now I feel so positive and loving and just grateful for you guys, keeping that spirit alive, that you're with us together in anything we make. Next question. Claudia has a question. Or, no, this guy. Spider-Man.
Hello, I'm Claudia.
Hi.
So, as a 13-year-old boy, I'm a big fan of your book club, Vaginal Fantasy.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Vaginal Fantasy is my book club.
And so, I'm thinking of starting my own smutty book club with my 13-year-old friends.
That's great.
Yeah. And so, what is your favorite book that you have read on Vaginal Fantasy?
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I should be encouraging a 13-year-old to have a smutty book club, but okay. Listen, man, the keys are yours. You're going to get smut everywhere. At least be classy and read, right? It's really cool. Vaginal Fantasy is a genre book club that I have. We've done, gosh, I think it's 3 years now. We've had a monthly hangout. We have like 14,000 people in the forum. People get together themselves, and I think it's really awesome. It's another thing where I'm like, people are connecting outside just with what I do, and you know, they feel like they have a community, and that's what I love about everything online. My favorite book would be this book. Well, okay, we had one. Kushal's Dart is my favorite book. It's by Jacqueline Carey. It's a grand historical fantasy drama about, I mean, it's a little bit of hitting sex, but my dad read it, and he was like, I try to support you in everything you do, but that was weird. But it's a beautifully written book, and if, you know, don't go 50 Shades. Go here if you're into that, and it's very flowery, and the romance is good. Anyway, we also had a book by Nina Banks about dinosaur romance. So it's about 11 dinosaur men who were reincarnated with the spirits of dinosaurs. No kidding, there is a pterodactyl. His name is Q. Unfortunately, she didn't get funding for more books. Damn it. But we did read 2 of them in the series, and it made me laugh so much. And I think romance is a genre that people... It's really crappy that romance are the best-selling books in the world, and yet they're not even listed on any legitimate lists because they're not considered legitimate. And you know what? Screw that noise. It's legitimate because people love it, right? I mean, it's just... And I think that it needs more respect. I mean, yeah, and the more respect it gets, the more we can, like, banish the tropes of me man, you mine, you know, get a little more sophisticated in there. So anyway, good luck. I'm proud of you for embracing your love of those. You're awesome. Okay, Spider-Man. Next question. I'm not the keeper. You have a very bold hand, but I don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe soon.
All the way down through.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Name's Jason. I have a YouTube channel. I just want to ask a question about that kind of thing. How did you, when you were starting doing YouTube, how did you deal with the anxiety of releasing something onto the internet? Because it's kind of, when you're making the first thing you make, it's a scary thing. So how did you deal with it? Did you have that kind of thing? Do you still have that kind of thing?
Am I scared? I'm always scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Right now, I almost tripped and killed myself.
Yeah.
I'm scared that when I'm driving, a squirrel will go under my wheel and I'll murder a squirrel. Always. I'm scared that I'll look later at a picture of myself and have a booger in my nose. Do I have? Okay.
You're fine.
But you're right. When you create something and you share it with people, it is very scary. And you're a delicate flower when you put something that's especially close to your heart out and someone breathes fire on it, right?
Yeah.
And I always, among all the YouTube people I know, like, you can have thousands and millions of people like your work, and you read one comment like, meh, and you just want to go like, I'm retired, I'm out, goodbye. He's right, that one guy's right. Because all of us are insecure. I don't care who you are. If you're so confident that you can look at every criticism and be like, I don't bother me, you're probably a psycho, okay? Confident people, I do not trust you, okay?
I had one comment that was basically like, your voice makes me want to rip out my own ears.
Yeah,
and shove
okay.
them up your nose.
Well, I think you sound very attractive.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm always a sucker for a Scottish accent, or whatever.
I'm English.
Okay. Nailed it.
Nailed it. It's great. Can I plug my channel that quick, if that's okay?
What?
Can I plug my channel that quick, if that's okay?
You can plug your channel, yeah, whatever.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's Seasoned TV Reviews.
Okay.
I've only got like 200 subscribers at the moment.
All
I
right.
just like started out.
See?
Seasoned TV Reviews, like I said.
Seasoned TV.
Yeah, so I review like
Thumbs up.
things on a season by season. But
All
yeah,
right.
just search on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, you can stop now. No, he has a very good point. And the great thing about the digital world is that you have an avenue to upload and experiment. And I would say that if you want to create, find a safe community and practice it, try it out, take the criticism with a grain of salt, but if something makes you want to stop doing it entirely, that's not good for you, because no one should silence your voice just because they don't like it. Everyone's not going to like everything you do. And I struggle with that every day. I want everyone, hey, can I like you? Can you just, I'll change it for you. And I have to sort of squish that impulse all the time. If you silence yourself, then you're really depriving the world and the people who might like what you do of your voice. And that's not worth one person who you probably won't even connect with anyway in life. Next question. Hi. Oh, hi.
Oh, that's a lot louder than
I know it's weird, but talk really loud into it, like puh, puh, puh.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So I wanted to say that you have been pretty famously like really supportive of your fans, really, really open. And I was kind of curious what like a really, really terrible fan interaction, like someone being super creepy.
Super creepy. Well, I don't like to dwell on negative things. I have a couple funny stories in my book, actually, that are not like negative, but they're like, really? You know, it's a weird relationship when you're, I mean, I'm actually a really introverted person. I went to bed last night and watched Tiny Houses, so, and it really, I have to have a lot of quiet time to recharge, especially when I do something like this, and I feel like the one-on-one interaction is like, it's easier to do, and that's why I like the online world. You can kind of like connect with a lot of people, but on an individual basis. Like even a tweet is like, that's a personal connection to me. Like I read every reply obsessively, and it's important to me to keep that. You know, for a time, like you get swept up in the sort of popularity or people's expectations of you, and you sort of lose the touchstone of audience as a thing versus individual people. And that's when I've always felt very disconnected from my career. You know, especially, I don't mean to talk too much about it, but Twitch is such an amazing platform. I started doing it last year on my own because I wanted to get that connection of just individual people, seeing them in chat and be like, hey, what's up? Was that, you know, wisdom tooth operation okay? Like I value that more because it makes me feel like we're real and it's a real thing, and I'm affecting people by the things I make and the things I do on a real basis. So I don't want to say anything creepy. I mean, I've signed a lot of breasts. That's all I can say. I said that on the panel. I've had some amazing fan art, and I've had a lot of marriage proposals, but, you know, I've not taken anyone up on them. So, not to be negative, but tattoos. I mean, hair. No, somebody gave me braided hair, but I wasn't sure whose it was. But let's not judge. Let's not judge. If it's hair art, you just need to go there. If you want to be a hair artist detached from people's head, good for you. Okay, next question. Oh, back row.
Yeah, I was wondering, you've said previously that writing the Guild was always difficult every season, and I was wondering, was it any easier writing the book that you wrote, since it's more based just on your life and not having to write an original completely just, you know, out of your head?
It's a good question. Are there any writers in the room? We got a couple. Yeah, so if any of you just write and like, I love writing, it's easy for me, go, just leave, okay? Yeah, I mean, it's really hard, and especially since I wasn't an experienced writer, and I wrote one thing and then I got all this praise for it, it was very hard for me to navigate. I talk about it in my book a lot, actually. But to me, the book, I decided to do it because I give a lot of talks like this, and then people come up and say, what I've done made them create something or embrace who they are or allowed them to be a gamer, even though people said you don't look like a gamer or whatever. So that's why I was kind of inspired to write the book, as well as just loving the memoir format. And I have to say I felt much more mature 5 years after starting writing, sitting down for a book. And I also use this program called Scrivener, which is amazing. And it measures your word count. And I have a math degree. So I was like, oh, science. And I sat down and I started prep myself. I made myself journal 3 pages a day, like for 3 months leading up to my book writing. And then I started writing, and I was like, from every day, from 9 to 12, you have to sit down and write, even if you have no words that you put down. And then I set a word count of 1,000 words a day, and then I worked my way up over 3 months to 2,000, and then I got up to 3,000 and 4,000, and one day I even did like 6,000 words. I was like, oh, I'm amazing. But being really methodical and breaking down the steps in a doable way versus thinking of like, oh my God, I have to finish a book. When I started thinking about that, that's when I would have a panic attack, So I think, especially if you're going to create something like a novel, which is not easy, and talking about yourself for a year is like, get over yourself, lady. But it definitely makes you examine your life in a way that's more objective. And I learned a lot about myself with the process. So whoever you are, if you journal thinking that you're telling somebody else the story of your life as a memoir, it's really useful, and it makes you realize patterns in your life that you might not notice, and realize maybe dreams that you never had that you forgot about that you can maybe revisit to enrich your life. So I would recommend anybody do it, no matter if you're going to have a book about yourself or not. So next question.
How long have you been interested in acting?
How long have I been interested in acting? My aunt was an actress, and she got me into acting when I was like 8 or 9. And then I always moved around and I did plays. So that was how I got into acting. And when I went to college, I did plays on the side. I tried to worm my way into the acting classes, but they wouldn't because I wasn't a major. And I was like, I'm going to go to the dean. And they were like, nope, you can't do it. So that was one battle I did not win. And then when I graduated, I just was like, let's go to Hollywood. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be, wait, what? No? All right, I'll go over here and do commercials. So it was never easy to be an actor, but if you like acting, are you an actor yourself? Not really.
I'm too afraid.
You're too afraid? Oh, you're with an actor. Yeah. So my best advice if you want to be an actor is learn and watch behind the scenes and go volunteer for a set. Everybody's doing videos now. You can learn the most by being on a set, like what job you want to do. There's so many different jobs on a film set too, whether you're like in front of the camera, behind the camera, you do sound, lighting, directing. We need more people who are interested in that, especially women behind the camera, to influence the kind of material that people pick. So if you're interested, yeah, thank you. If you're interested in filmmaking, just look in your local student newspaper and look for volunteers and just watch, because filmmaking is not what you think. People would come on a set of the Guild and be like, I thought it was just you and a camera. Why are these people here? And I'm like, welcome to my world. I have to get 15 people together in my garage and I am hot. So good luck with your acting. I don't know about, you're not doing it, so goodbye. Okay, next question.
Hi, Felicia.
Hello.
I'm a huge Supernatural fan, and when we first introduced to Charlie, we find out she's a huge Harry Potter fan, and so Hermione is such a powerful female character, and Charlie loves her. So who is your top female role model?
Role model as far as imaginary?
Whoever you want it to be, real or imaginary.
Wow, that's a really good question. I mean, Tina Fey is maybe the person I most admire. She's kind of like, she did it. And if you read her book, it's like, she did it even though people told her not to do it. And she wasn't standard. And people discouraged her. And you just keep plugging away and making your own path. I love Anne of Green Gables because I wanted to be her when I grew up. She was, so that was another, I mean, I love books, so whenever I see a girl kick somebody in the face, I'm like, give me that book. That's why I have that book club. But I think it's really, key to have people you look up to and inspire you, no matter male or female. You know, I mean, there are people like Lena Dunham. I love what she's done with her career. It's like really people who are out of the box, who especially get told no a lot. I'm really obstinate. If you say you're amazing, I start to like, oh God. But if you say no, you can't do that, I'm like, okay, great. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Punch. You know, that's that kind of drives me a lot more than compliments are terrible. So I don't know. Do you have any role models? See, it's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
Right?
I didn't think about that. Probably Hermione. I'm a huge, like, between Harry Potter and Supernatural, like, it's Hermione. You gotta give
Hermione.
you
Yeah,
gotta
she
give
is
her
pretty
props.
cool. What is with the Ron thing? Can I just say no? I do not want to see. Who wants to see Ron naked? I'm sorry. We have a Ron fan here who wants to marry Ron. Well, you can have him. Nobody else wants him. I'm sorry. Nailed it. No? Okay, thank you. Next question. Where are we? I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Hi, Felicia.
Hi.
So I just want to say this is a birthday trip for me, and one of my birthday bucket lists was to meet you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yay!
So I'm super
21.
excited.
21. Don't drink too much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
My question is, I love your role as Charlie on Supernatural. So
Thank you.
I'm wondering, do we have anything else to look forward to as far as TV roles go?
As far as TV roles go?
Yes.
I mean, hopefully, I'm actually developing my own thing right now, so hopefully I'll have something to talk about in the next, I don't know, Hollywood time. And obviously, I'm always really open to new roles. I actually now have a little bit more time since Geek and Sundry. I have such an amazing crew over there, so I'll definitely be looking for other shows to be on going forward in the fall after my book's out, and playing in different worlds. I get offered a lot of jobs, but I turn them down a lot, not only because it would take me away from my company and the things that I do every day that I love, like, all the things online, videos, but I never want to do a show that didn't have that family spirit. Like, I've been really lucky. I was on Buffy, I was on Eureka, I was on Supernatural, and all of those have a family feel. Like, you guys make it a family I want to be part of. And I wouldn't, some actors will just do any role and they don't really care about that as much. But to me, I want to be a part of a family, and if a show doesn't have that feeling to it, then it's not as interesting to me. So I certainly try to be selective about things that I think you guys would like me to be on, and have that spirit of like, hey, I love your show beyond just the hour I'm watching it, And that's why I love Comic-Con. I mean, if I could, I would be like breaking down the door and say, do you know who I am? I want to be in the Star Wars panel. I tried that. I did not get in. It's okay. I didn't try that hard. I could have gone to the Doctor Who panel. I had another panel at the same time, but I saw Peter Capaldi in the back of the Hall H before Con-Man, and he has the most magnificent hair you've ever seen on a human. It's so tall. He's like in Flock of Seagulls or something. It's so dreamy. Next question. Claudia's got it.
Hi, Felicia.
Hello.
So you and Ryan did 100 episodes of Cooptitude?
We did 100 episodes, yes. 100 episodes of Cooptitude. Yeah.
You guys played Goof Troop for the second time.
Yes.
Which time was your favorite, and are you used to Goofy's rat tail yet?
Am I used to what?
Goofy's rat tail?
Oh, Goofy's rat tail? Okay. Cooptitude is a show I do with my brother. I'm a lot more profane on that show than I am in real life. I promise you. We bleep it out. Because people are like, my 8-year-old loves your show. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm a terrible human. So at least we bleep it. We played Goof Troop as one of our first episodes. It was number 2, I think. But number 1 was not a good game, and I didn't want to play it again. It was something terrible. I can't remember. But we did Goof Troop again, and we drank a lot of wine, and it was not more successful. I did not get better at Goof Troop over the years. And I hate Goofy. So he's a rat man. He's like a rat. What's the deal with him and Pluto? Is that a relationship that can happen? Or is that, this baby is so cute. I want to dress that baby in a TARDIS outfit. She likes it too, or he. Baby likes it. Oh my God. I'm going to steal that baby. I'm sorry. Headline tomorrow. Felicia Day steals baby and runs across stadium floor with it. I got her. I got him. Okay. I'm creepy. Next question. And somebody cut me off. Steve, just come up and take the mic from me. I don't know what time it is. My internal clock is not correct. Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Dustin, and I know you had an interesting experience at UT Austin, just going there as a young student, and
Hook 'em. That's not Satan. That's like a hook 'em horn thing.
Horns,
Thank you. Okay.
So I was just wondering if you can, or maybe you reflected for your book, if you had like a really formative experience there. Because I work at a college, I work with college students all the time, and I know how important it is for people to grow into who they are. Do you remember like a moment or an involvement you had that was really like formative for you?
Yeah, there's a whole, I talk about that in my book too, yeah, because I went to school very young. I was 16 and my mom drove me to college every day, so that was interesting. So it wasn't really the same experience as other people, but I think if you were to talk about formative things in college, definitely teachers are so incredibly important, and I think they're not as valued as they should be in this world because they're like molding the minds of who we are. Like I bet every single one of you has a teacher who inspired them and a teacher who crushed your heart. And those are a lot of the memories that when you look back at your childhood, you only remember like vivid emotions, right? So you remember things that devastated you, you remember the joyous things, and those, you know, especially in writing a memoir, you're like going over the things that inform you in life, and really those are the key moments. And you know, a teacher telling you you're not good at this can literally change your life in a good or a bad way, and close doors. You know, that was on a panel yesterday where a teacher told Will he couldn't write, you know, or I can't do. A teacher once told me I can't do comedy. I'm not funny. So a lot of people have a lot of theories, but at the same time, I also had teachers who were like, you should stick with math even though you're doing other things, and it will enrich your life long term if you want to be a math major. And that was totally right. I use, you know, that formed my brain in a unique way. Or you should keep going with the violin, you know, because even though you don't want to be a professional violinist, like you're very good, and you obviously have an artist in you, that you should keep doing that, and you could do other things with it, like playing a band or whatever. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing, and to have the freedom to take really specific courses like romantic poetry from the 19th century and be a geek about those things, because now I'm still a history geek about things. I love history podcasts. I listen to them in my car all the time. So college is one of those places. I'm glad I never went to high school, because college you have a little bit more freedom to choose your paths and choose and follow your impulses, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So anyway, Claudia's got it.
Hi, Felicia.
Hello.
Like you, I do lots of stuff. I do videos, I'm trying to do a podcast, I write, I direct. Do you ever just like have this feeling like, oh God, I'm not doing enough, and have like a panic attack? And how do you deal with that?
Are you with me in the morning? It's every day.
Every day, yeah.
I mean, I alternate between the extremes of I'm doing too much and I'm not doing enough constantly in my life. And I don't know what that is. I'm not sure why I have that. And the thing is that, especially when you're doing, I have a unique career in that the digital world, we have to do a lot to have a career in digital. You have to be a producer and have all those hats we talked about earlier. And there's always a hat that you're not really wearing fully. You know, oh, if I only focused on this one thing, I would get that much farther. But it's kind of required to do all the things. And I feel sometimes that I'm not devoting enough to all the projects, and then I go 6 months and I'm like, oh, Facebook, that person had a baby. I didn't even know she was married. Oh. And then you realize you're neglecting what's really, really important are the people who are really immediately in your life. So it's a constant balance, and I think especially with the internet as a distraction and an enriching tool, it's hard to know which way you're going. And I think it's good to focus on the things that really have meaning versus are good ideas. It's a good idea for you to go do that show, but is that something you want to wake up every day and do every day? And that's what I actually do a gut check. I'm like, okay, I'm going to imagine myself, I say yes to this thing, and I wake up in the morning and I go do this, and am I happy? And a lot of the times when I decide to say no to something, and I've done that, I feel like a weight lifted off my chest, like you did the right thing, because I judged a decision to the trueness of my heart versus my mind. So that kind of is every day. And I have a meditation app on my iPhone that I just like, breathe. I did that this morning. Anyway, okay, next question. Oh, hi. No, you're just waving? Bye. Okay. Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm really excited for your book to come out, and I just want to know, what do you hope, not just fans, but anybody takes away from reading it? What do you want your message to be, and what do you want to get out of it as well?
Well, I would like, for myself, I would like for other people to take something away from it, anything. Because whenever you make something art, like a piece of art, you want somebody to take something away from it and put it in their own lives versus like it's all about me and how great I am. Like that's, I don't know, that's just my philosophy. Like when we do videos, I'm always thinking, is this series going to help somebody? Like tabletop. It's so great because people tell me all the time, hey, I never played tabletop games, but I bought this game and we had a family night. Or I have a group now that plays every Tuesday nights, and that makes me excited. And that's what I tried every step of my book to do. Is this chapter have an underlying theme that someone can take away and put in their own life? And I guess the core of it is to embrace your weird. I mean, really, that it really is. If you are unique, I notice in this world, and when I talk to people about their childhoods and their life, a lot of the times there's a very constant theme of shaming other people and discouraging other people because they're not mainstream. And what I would love everyone to take away is that the things that make you different are the things that will make you bloom in life and make your heart sing. Because you are unique. There's no other person who's like you in the world. And if you're rounding out the corners of your uniqueness, you're kind of robbing yourself in the world of your voice. You're the only one who can make an impression on the world in the way that you can. And they're cutting me off? No. And when you're encouraged to sort of, you don't like that, you shouldn't try to do that, you're not good at that, or you shouldn't look like that, shaming you about the things that you carry in this world, that's just going to make you unhappy. And that's what I would like people to take from the book. And hopefully, I don't know, are they like telling me to get off? Anyway, that was really heartfelt, so don't cut me off quite yet. All right, bye. Next question. Well, is that it? Oh, okay. Thanks, Claudia. Steve, just go like, just come up on stage and cut me off.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so I watched your Twitch stream. And,
yay!
Too.
Team Human.
Yeah. I was wondering. So it's different from YouTube, like how you can edit the video if you like mess up. But like for Twitch, how do you like keep going and keep the audience interested in your stream?
How do I keep going?
Yeah, like how do you keep like talking?
The content coming, or just the heart to keep going?
Like I guess both.
I mean, I think it's hard to keep doing something, especially if you're like, it's not getting me where I want to go. And I think the heart of being persistent and having grit is knowing that you're doing the thing for yourself versus like trying to get external recognition for it. I think a lot of the times you're like, hey, it would be great if I was a rock star. Other people would admire me for that. But like, do you really want to be a rock star? Or do you really want to do that? Or do you like the idea of it? And I think whenever anybody is asking me, hey, how do I start my YouTube channel? I always am like, well, start with something that you would tell your friend for 4 hours without stopping, and you want to have another conversation about it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So it isn't work. The work doesn't feel like work. Like to me, I love playing video games, and I love learning about new games, and I love sharing that knowledge of things and making other people like that thing too. That is a reflexive thing I would do no matter if it was my job or not. And if you want to be, have success on YouTube, or at least be fulfilled on YouTube or any platform like Twitch or anything, you have to have that sort of long-term engine inside your heart, or you're just doing it for the wrong reasons and you'll get discouraged when you don't get immediate feedback. And it's like, oh, I don't have enough thumbs up. Well, that's not how you want to measure yourself, right? You want to be proud of the work you do. So I would just say, if you have a game that you love and you play anyway, that's what you should stream. Don't stream just because, Hearthstone is the #1 game. That's not what you should do. And that's what we try to do in all of our content too. So I think it shines through your enthusiasm. Next question. Hi, is that the baby? Is he going to ask a question? Can I have the baby now?
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Laura, and first I just want to say that I love you in Dr. Horrible's sing-on blog. I know
Dr. Horrible, thank you.
Sorry.
That's pretty good.
This question might stray from Geek and Sun. Actually, it will. Before Geek and Sundry and everything that you did, you're really positive. You said you do meditation and you really strive to be successful.
Can you talk up just a little bit? I'm sorry, I'm just having a little bit.
It's okay. Yeah. So you said that you talk a lot about being successful, positive. And my question for you was, aside from all these geeky things and
You're electric.
and all of this, is there anything like, did you ever read any self-motivation books? Ever watch anyone like that's not from, the geek industry?
Do I like non-geeky things, basically?
No, like, what helps you in being so positive and striving to be so successful? Or is that just something that's like you?
Oh, what keeps me being positive, even though I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get your question. Positivity, basically, and community. I mean, it's really about you guys liking our stuff and trying to create an environment where if there's a person watching our video and they like what we do and they saw a person on the street with that same shirt on, those two people would connect and like each other. And that's really important to me. And that really is what you guys are about. So I just want to thank you for being here, for connecting with each other and our content. And no matter what it is that you do, with us, I hope that you know that we value you guys. And I love seeing you online and just thank you. And I'm wrapping it up. So thank you.